What was your first time having sex like? Details. I am an 18-year-old college freshman, male. Okay, so Friday night, like most college freshmen, I got very drunk. I don't usually drink. I prefer smoking or just chilling, but I said fuck it and drank anyways. Went out to a party with a few friends, didn't get lucky. Oh well. I wasn't really in a rush, so I didn't care. I ended up talking to this girl I knew from high school that I saw on the bus. She was attractive, especially when drunk, lol. And she's an okay person. And I knew she was into me. But I didn't really like her as a person. And while she made it evident she wanted me, I didn't really want her. Anyways, someone within like a minute of me sitting down, we ended up making out, and went back to my room after that. So before we had sex, I told her it was my first time because I had no idea what the fuck to do. She paused and was hesitant. We were both drunk and she didn't want my first time to be like that. I told her it was fine, and I had thought about it before and was okay with it. Next day I realized I drunkenly had confused my thoughts. I knew I could have lost it to her anytime I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I wanted it to be someone I actually at least kinda liked on a personal level. But my drunken thought process reversed that. Anyways, now I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously nothing can be done now, and what's happened has happened. But that kinda sucked, to be honest. Everyone congratulated me for smashing, but I still felt kinda empty. Like for at least a year now, I've had several girls I know have been interested in me. Girls I could have hit up any time and lost it if I wanted to. But I wanted to wait for someone I wanted to lose it to, and I didn't get that in the end. Well, might as well start going down the list now that the band-aid has been ripped off. How was your first time? Good? Overhyped? Lol, it's just sex, not a fairy tale. Not a fairy tale. The whole virginity hype in general is so retarded. Normally I would agree with that, but my first time was very fairy tale, and I'm glad I waited and did it with who I did it with. Made it all the better. Terrible. I was a nervous wreck.
Had no idea what I was doing. It didn't feel like anything to me, which I would later find out is due to me having a small dick. And then she left and never talked to me again, unless you count the note she left saying she was no longer interested in me. Ouch. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But being a nervous wreck and having no idea what to do is expected, so I wouldn't worry about that. FWIW, I think your dick is a perfect size. We were both almost and were dating. It was pretty bad and the condom slipped just a little when I came, so naturally being nervous teens, both of us thought I had gotten her pregnant. Cue mental images of Maury saying, "You are the father." When she got her period, both of us celebrated, and the times after that were much better. Similar thing happened to me. Condom was halfway down when we were done. We thought maybe it might have leaked. Next day she had her period, so that was nice. Senior year of high school, my best friend was having a party because his parents were out of town. My girlfriend and I snuck into his parents' bedroom and locked the door. We had been together 3 months, only getting as far as third base. After spending a lot of time having fun in their huge shower, we moved to the bed where we played the game, just the tip. It felt incredible, but we stopped after only a few minutes because I didn't have a condom. We broke up a week later without ever finishing what we started. That same night I got a random nosebleed, and it got all over their bed. I freaked out and somehow washed the sheets clean, but not without living down that everyone thought that the blood came from my girlfriend. Good times. Well, not to throw salt in the wound, but my first time was with someone I cared about, and it was pretty good. But practice makes perfect. Up to you if you want to just have random sex or not. Sounds like you do.
Eventually, you'll have sex with someone you care about, and hopefully, it will be good for you. I suspect that you'll find the process of falling in love with someone better than the sex itself. My ex put the condom on, and that's as far as he got, as he orgasmed then. The second time he got the condom on, got on top of me, then he came. Third time was the charm, and we had sex. He didn't last very long. It was okay, but was kinda lame. I have since had much better sex. I regret having sex with him. After we started having sex, he turned into an abusive asshole. But I don't regret having sex when I did. You live and you learn, and you move on. We were making out and my penis slipped into her. It was earlier than planned, but she smiled at me and said, "Okay, well, now that you're not a virgin, go to it. Enjoy yourself." The condom was so thick I didn't even know when I was in. But I still came in like 30 seconds, because holy fuck I'm having sex. Did it in a theater. There was no one there and we were at the top back row. It was awesome. Did not expect she would say yes. We stopped short of either of us finishing, because shit, we were in the theater. But definitely memorable as hell. It was with the girl I wanted to lose it to. She knew it would be my first time, and basically made it perfect for me. Lots of foreplay and we tried a bunch of different positions over the course of like 5-6 hours. The only bad thing was that the condom was slightly too tight, and I couldn't come from PIV, but she gave me a handjob to finish me off. My first time was with someone I cared about, pretty much as perfect as it could be, I think. But while it was a good time, it was still awkward because I had no idea what I was doing. You have much better sex to look forward to someday. And a few years from now, Losing it probably won't be the big deal that it feels like right this moment. A milestone, yes, but not huge in the grand scheme. When she came, I was pretty sure my dick was going to implode, and I couldn't pull out. I tried not to freak out, but I hadn't ever felt anything like that, nor have I met a girl since with vice grip vag. Otherwise, amazing. 14 and extremely drunk with my then girlfriend and my best bud at his place, Chuckles. He suggests that my girlfriend and I should have sex, and in the condition we're all in, this seemed reasonable. However, none of us had any condoms. He comes up with the brilliant idea of saran wrap and an elastic. How I didn't become a baby daddy, I will never know. I was 19, so it was kind of a long time coming. All I remember is that it was pretty brief, and afterwards thinking, is that it? I kind of expected it to be some sort of life-changing experience, like I would achieve some sort of enlightenment or something. It was a bit of a letdown. He was 20. He was very sweet and patient. Actually, a really great first-time experience. He asked me 3 times before actual penetration if I really wanted to do it. Very gentle but sexy. I credit my first-time experience to why I love sex so much.
My first time was pretty bad, but a great story. We go on a weekend trip together, and we have a room booked that night at a fancy pants hotel since we were pretty far away. We eat dinner at an equally fancy pants restaurant. I ordered the sea bass and escarole, and we split a creme brulee. I don't remember what he ate. We go back to the hotel and start making out once the door shuts. We have lots of fun oral sex in tons of new positions thanks to an ottoman that was in the room. The iPod player is looping Rilo Kiley's Blacklight. Somehow we end up on the bed, missionary position, and he says something like, "Do you want to have sex?" or something like that. My stomach starts grumbling, partially from the fish in my stomach, partially from the rolling around the whole night, and now with nervousness. I gulp and say yes, as I did want to, and I am wet. He positions himself at my vagina and slowly pushes in about a half inch. It's excruciating. I wince and claw at the sheets, telling him not to move or else my vagina will break. Moneymaker is playing again. A minute or two later, I tell him to try pushing in another half inch. He does, and more pain. So I tell him to stop again for another couple minutes. The feeling of getting impaled and stretched open for the first time, compounded with my already sick and nervous stomach, I feel a lurching wave of vomit starting to build up in my throat. So I roll off the bed and sprint to the toilet, where I proceed to puke my brains out for 15 minutes, while my boyfriend held my hair. After my stomach was empty, and I brushed my teeth, we got back into bed. He wanted to try again, and me not wanting to be a quitter, tried again. I think he got it all the way in after a half hour, but then I told him that I was wiped for the night. TLDR, he got an inch in, and I puked. It hurt like hell, and she came straight away. That sounds kind of backwards. The first time I ever put it in, me and my girlfriend were at the gym, in the pool when I slid her bottoms to the side. Didn't finish though. We went home right after and finished. I was at a friend's house, playing strip poker with a group of folks. One girl there was flirting with just about everyone there. At one point, she asked her boyfriend to go to the store to get some cigarettes, and myself and a few others piled on some additional requests. He took off. The moment he went out the door, she took off the rest of her clothes and started sucking another friend off. That's when I saw my opportunity and started fingering her from behind. The rest was just your run-of-the-mill group sex. It was like ba, ba, ba. Fine. Really? Yes. Really? Yes. Are you okay? Silence. Are you? I'm done. I've caught 5. Then he hid behind the bed and pouted when I wouldn't let him watch me pee. Overall, a weird experience. Reminds me of a related story. Not my first time, but my first time with this girl. We had some pretty amazing sex that night. And the next morning, I wake up, roll out of bed, and have to pee. I get to the bathroom, and the door is open, and I see her using the toilet. I quickly avert my eyes and say, "Oh, sorry," as I shut the door, embarrassed. As I'm shutting the door, she says, "You realize we had sex last night, right?" "It's okay," I reply. "Yeah, but you're like peeing," and finish closing the door. She wanted to de-virginize me. Sadly, we had met through a friend over AOL IM. We decided to finally meet. She came from Connecticut to Florida for my birthday. I got so drunk on my birthday I was unable to get it up. We didn't try the rest of the weekend for whatever reason. The next trip was a few months later when I went up to Connecticut. She had arranged a hotel room for us. We get in the room and start making out. Get to the bed, take off her clothes. I still can't get it up. Twanglively in two things, bad possessed. We move to the shower. Hot shower makeout session. I still can't get it up. End up back to the bed. I am apologizing to her, thinking to myself, "Twine front-ugly man, this is your chance. Twine front-ugly." She was like, "This is how it is in real life. It's not like a porno," even though this night felt like one. Suddenly, I get my confidence. I remember lifting her up out of bed, sitting her on the hotel room sink porno style, getting massively aroused, and then it happened. Lasted about 5 seconds, but it happened. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. In the meantime, check out the other ones. They're already waiting for you. Share your thoughts on this topic in the comments and tell your own stories. Wishing you a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.